Representative Noem.
Commissioner, it's important to set goals for an agency. I believe that it's important. Do you believe that that's important to have goals as well?
Yes.
I've been reading through your forfeiture fund annual report, and it's interesting to me that the IRS has set its goals based on the number of seizures, based on the size of seizures, and based on the amount of money in seizures.
That's not a goal of the IRS. In fact, the law prohibits us, the restriction on it, to have goals tied to actually collections. So none of our employees are measured by the dollars they collect.
Well, that's the concern that I have, because based at my evaluation of the report and the fund is that that is what the goals of the IRS are, and that concerns me if you're going to be basing it.
That's a report from the Treasury Department. That's not an IRS fund. We do not control that
But
fund.
the data would be the same. I mean, the data indicates.
We have volumes of data, some of which I'm going to provide to this committee, about the number of cases, the amount of seizures, but those are not goals that are measured for performance of our agents. Those are the results of our activities.
Could you clarify for me then, does the IRS have any goals that would indicate it's going after lawfully earned money?
We have no goals at all that would tie anybody's performance, including the agency's performance, to collections under any of those activities.
Are your agents motivated at all by goals set by the agency to put points on the board?
None at all. It's illegal for us to have goals that cause any agent and any IRS employee anywhere in the organization to have a goal tied to collections.
Is part of their evaluation for doing their job based on any kind of dollars of seizures that they have produced, by seizures that they have been a part of, or the size of those seizures? Is that a part of their evaluation as their work as an agent?
That's a very important question. I'm delighted you asked it. It is never a part of their evaluation. We are across the board prohibited from, whether it's a revenue agent, a collection agent, somebody in sending you a notice, we're prohibited from having anybody rewarded on the basis of the dollars they collect.
So even if an agent is in a situation where they've seized an amount of dollars, but yet they settled for less, that's not going to be a part of their evaluation as to doing their job duties.
A, that settlement is not an IRS settlement. B, even if it were, it would not be part of their evaluation.
Okay.
We settle cases. We have revenue agents negotiating with taxpayers across the country. What their settlements are is never toted up in terms of performance and never measured in terms of performance.
Your criminal investigation division has field offices, correct?
Across the country.
Are they evaluated based on what kind of seizures they've participated in and investigated in?
Absolutely not.
How are they evaluated?
They're evaluated on a set of normal performance measures in terms of their activities.
So if they're not performing well and they're not getting very many seizures or aren't producing very many seizures, does that reflective on the work that they're doing, and are they then motivated to go after easy cases or easy seizures?
No, you have to understand the seizure investigations are about 5% of the work of the Criminal Investigation Division, and about a third of those result in seizures. So in two-thirds of our investigations, there's no seizure, and the investigations totally are about 5% of their activities. So we are involved with identity theft, chasing criminals. We've thrown 2,000 people in jail for, thanks to cooperation with the Justice Department, who prosecutes those cases for identity theft. So the vast majority of their time is not spent on seizures or on those investigations.
See, here's what concerns me about your new policy, is because it says that there could be exceptional circumstances that would change the policy if that was necessary. So if they are short on goals, if there's not many seizures happening, it could easily be declared that there are exceptional circumstances that could be utilized to raise those number of seizures and the amount of dollars that would be captured.
The number of seizures is not a performance goal, so they have no incentive to do that. The second point to remember is no agent and no field office has the ability to make that determination. It is made by a senior executive at headquarters in the Criminal Investigation Division to make sure that they really are exceptional circumstances to change the policy.
And is that written policy that every agent and every member of the Criminal Investigation Division team would know and be very clear of?
Every agent has been advised about that. It is being put into our revenue manual that everybody follows, but once that policy was initiated last fall, it was distributed and shared throughout the agency. Every agent should be aware of that policy.
So to your knowledge, there's been no evaluation processes that have been gone through where seizures were discussed or talked about, or even the settlements that resulted from those seizures?
Settlements and there are, as I say, it's illegal, and I think it's appropriately illegal for us to measure anybody's performance by their collection activity.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner.